We're talking about straight leg hip flexion. So our hips are, at this point, we've mobilized through our external rotation, our internal rotation. Those are the spots we always start with literally everybody. We make sure those are clear and good and free. And we start moving into more linear movements. Last time we started doing a bunch of hip abduction. We're going to be doing straight leg hip flexion. So it's the thing that a lot of other places start with because it's always tight on people, but it is really typically our third or fourth step. What we are going to do, again, kind of like always, we're going to start with some PAILs and RAILs. Our straight leg hip flexion standard here that we usually use in the office involves some props. We've got 2 posts and we've got a bench. That could be a chair and a couple of brooms. But what we are going to be trying to do here is move only about the hip and with a straight leg. So Andy's going to take and he's going to kick a leg up and put her down here. What you're going to notice is he leaves his knee slightly unlocked, and then he is going to try to bring his body over the top of that, but without letting his spine collapse. So this stays really tall and really straight. We're not trying to do a sit and reach. We're not trying to reach for the toes in any manner. We're just trying to get really his belly button as close to his thigh as we can without collapsing out of the spine. When we're doing these, the goal, it's not even saying that that kind of a stretch is bad, but the goal here is to mobilize the hip with the straight leg. So we're going to try to isolate as many variables as we can. Keep the leg straight, slightly unlocked, and then straight spine. Again, PAILs and RAILs, we're going to start 2 minutes hanging out here, stretching, miserable.
It's been a minute already, right?
It's been a minute. At least. Typically with these, the first minute is the hardest part of this, and really the first 2 minutes. That passive stretch is not fun. It is a tough thing to do. When we get into our PAILs and RAILs, our PAIL set, what we're going to think about doing is keeping everything from knee to body stationary, and Andy is going to drive his heel into the bench like he is trying to do a leg curl, and he is going to do that as hard as he can right now for 4 to 6 seconds, and he is just going to pull and pull and pull and pull. Good. And then we are going to relax, and he's going to reverse. His body is going to try to come closer. We want to think about this happening from the hip flexor. It's almost like he's trying to lift his leg off the bench. Using those muscles, he's going to pull his body into his leg. Again, 4 to 6 seconds. We are going to stop right here and just chill. We're going to relax and stay here. We want to make it to the top of our next minute while we're just hanging out right here. With that being said, we're going to cheat a little bit for the video because it's a long time to hang out here. But if we were really trying to mobilize a hip, we would do the whole thing. So for round 2, Andy's going heel into bench and pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling. Again, 4 to 6 seconds. Let that relax. Think about the muscles you'd use to lift your leg and pull in your body. That and that and that and that. Good. And then we stop right here and relax again and breathe. Good. And just like every other time we try to mobilize, we go for round 3. Round 3 is going to be the hardest. We're in the deepest stretch that we can get in right here. So our PAILs need to ramp up, but still as hard as we can push and drive and drive and drive and drive. Still 4 to 6 seconds, still at 80 to 100%. Relax. We pull in one more time. Last one should be the worst one, but still, the worst best one. And then we stop and relax. At the end of it, we always want to just pop right out of there. Don't let yourself do that. Hang out here. You worked really, really hard to get into this deep position. Try to breathe and relax and tell your body it's okay. Good. And then we come right on out. Nice.
It's juicy.
Yes.